Teutul Jr. lost everything in a heartbreaking family war. His father demanded $1.5 million from his own son. His brother was forced to choose sides. But there did come that time where he and his dad kind of parted ways. He was fired, and at the time it was really tough, but when he looked back, it was the best thing. When Paul became a father himself, he realized the true cost of their famous feud. He found a lot of forgiveness and understanding towards his own father because of having his own son. Today, the man who built America's most famous motorcycles reveals the painful truth behind the cameras and why he hasn't shared a holiday meal with his father in 15 years. Most kids in the mid-80s were busy riding bikes, watching cartoons, or playing Nintendo, but Paul Teutul Jr. had a completely different idea of fun. At just 12 years old, he was already working in the heat and noise of Orange County Iron Works. While other kids were at the beach, Paul was sweeping metal shavings off workshop floors and running tools to grown men welding steel. Even before that, he used to visit his dad's job site and collect scrap pieces of metal like they were toys. He'd arrange them into little sculptures, dreaming up creations from what others saw as junk. That early exposure shaped everything. By the time he was 14, Paul was already welding with a calm precision that even the seasoned guys respected. He wasn't just picking up skills, he was learning how to think like a builder. But life in the shop wasn't all sparks and glory. His dad, Paul Sr., had a reputation for being intense, and he didn't go easy on his son. In fact, he was often harder on him than anyone else. Junior couldn't get away with small mistakes. If something went wrong, he'd get yelled at in front of everyone. Some thought it was unfair, but Senior believed it would make him stronger. As the years passed, their personalities clashed more and more. The show did a lot of damage within the family. Paul Sr. liked brute strength and old-school methods. Paul Jr. had a more artistic eye and preferred clean lines and perfect detail. One summer, Jr. redesigned a railing to make it both stronger and better looking. His dad dismissed it at first, but a few days later, without saying a word, he approved it and used the design. That moment said it all. Deep down, there was respect, but it came with a constant tug-of-war. While most high schoolers were cramming for math tests, Paul Jr. took a different path. He joined a vocational program that let him spend half his school day learning metal work. He studied welding techniques, blueprints, and how to read stress points in steel. One of his instructors said he had a rare gift, like he could see how metal wanted to move before even touching it. Junior spent hours beyond class practicing every weld and every cut until it felt natural. He knew he didn't need a fancy degree to succeed, he just needed to master his craft. When he returned to his father's shop after graduating, he wasn't the kid sweeping floors anymore. He was a skilled fabricator who spoke the language of the pros and backed it up with results. By 19, Paul Jr. was leading the railing division at Orange County Iron Works, a job that made up nearly half the company's income. Most assumed it was family favoritism, but Jr. earned it. He expanded design options and gave the shop a modern edge. His designs were so popular, customers were willing to pay more and wait longer just to get something crafted by him. He managed a crew of workers much older than him. Some were veterans, some skeptical at first, but over time, even the toughest ones admitted he knew what he was doing. He had taken a metal shop and turned it into something people talked about. Still, something was missing. After years of building stairs and railings, Junior felt boxed in. He wanted to build something that moved, something alive. That spark lit up when he started secretly sketching motorcycles in an old notebook after long days at work. Around that time, his dad got back into bikes, too. It started casual. Senior asked Junior to help him build one. But when Paul Sr. saw what his son had drawn up, it shocked him. It wasn't just technical, it was art. That day, Senior looked at his son and said, "Let's build bikes for real. Not as a hobby, as a business." With about $175,000 scraped together from the family's ironworks business, they officially launched Orange County Choppers. Senior kept 80%, Junior got 20%. It didn't matter yet. They had nothing but a dream and a cold basement full of tools. Within months, their bikes started getting noticed. Their first one, True Blue, took 4 long months of late nights, endless welding, and blue paint with white flames. When they brought it to Daytona in 1999, jaws dropped. They weren't nobodies anymore. But success didn't come easy. In 2000, they were still building bikes in a tiny, freezing workshop. Tools broke, suppliers wanted cash up front, and money ran out fast. Paul Jr. often worked 18-hour days, sleeping on a couch in the shop just to stay on schedule. They fought constantly, not for show but for survival. Then, in 2002, a call came from TV producer Craig Peligian. He'd seen their bikes in a magazine and wanted to make a show. Senior barked, "What the hell do you want?" when he answered the phone. The producer pitched a show about restoring junkyard bikes. Senior shut it down, saying, "We build them from scratch." Weeks later, the producer returned with a new idea. Film the real process, arguments and all. Junior hated it. He feared cameras would ruin everything. He even wrote his dad a 5-page letter saying, "They'll make us look like fools." But they needed the money, so they signed. When American Chopper premiered on March 31, 2003, no one expected what came next. Within 3 episodes, it exploded. Over 3 million people were watching each week. Suddenly, they weren't just bike builders, they were stars. Their small shop turned into a tourist attraction. Merch flew off shelves. Discovery Channel made $13 million in sales the first season alone. At first, it was Paul Sr.'s temper that drew people in, but it was Paul Jr. who kept them watching. Fans didn't care about the drama, they loved watching him build. Jr.'s designs were magic. Silent, focused, and precise. One scene of him building a gas tank without music or talking became one of the most requested clips ever aired. Welding schools across America saw enrollments spike. They called it the Pauly effect. Then came the Black Widow, a bike that changed everything. A spiderweb gas tank, custom wheels, and 167 hours of craftsmanship. When unveiled in New York, 15,000 people packed in to see it. It made OCC a brand. When Junior built the Firebike in June 2003, it wasn't just another chopper. It was a tribute to the firefighters lost on September 11th. Every part of it carried meaning. One piece of steel from the World Trade Center wreckage was welded by Paul himself. It supported 343 hand-painted emblems, one for each fallen firefighter. When the bike was in an accident, the NYFD treated it like a fallen comrade. It became a national symbol, displayed at over 248 events. Years later, he built Tribute Bike 2, unveiled in 2011, moving people to tears, including Mayor Bloomberg. All proceeds went to the 9/11 memorial. Paul's technical mind also evolved. By 2012, he introduced T-spline, revolutionizing motorcycle design. Later, he learned G-code to control CNC machines himself, mastering both art and engineering. But behind the success, father and son were tearing apart. Their relationship exploded in 2008 during a massive fight when Senior fired Junior after a chair-throwing outburst. Lawsuits followed as Senior tried to buy Junior's 20% stake for $500,000. Junior fought back and won the appeal in 2010, keeping his shares and proving his independence. Bound by a non-compete clause, Junior couldn't build bikes for a year, so he turned to design work. He eventually launched Paul Jr. Designs right across the street from OCC. Soon, former OCC staff, including Vinny, Cody, and Mikey, joined him. Discovery turned the feud into Senior versus Junior in 2010, a televised family war that captivated millions. In the chaos, Paul Jr. met Rachel Beaton, the woman who would change his life. They married in 2010, but his father didn't attend. When their son Hudson was born in 2015, Paul Jr. began to understand his father differently. Fatherhood softened him and deepened his faith. He publicly spoke about redemption and spiritual healing, and over time, found peace. Though his relationship with Senior remained distant, he made efforts for his son's sake. Their rivalry became one of reality TV's most infamous sagas. Yet Junior triumphed, winning most public build-offs and building a thriving brand worth over $14 million. A brief reunion in 2018, orchestrated by TV producers, brought no real healing. As of 2025, father and son live separate lives. They haven't shared a holiday meal in 15 years. Senior still runs OCC. Junior runs PJD. Both accept that working together destroyed what was left of their bond. Now, Junior is ready to tell his story in his new memoir, Given the Opportunity, set for release in October 2025. A raw, unfiltered account of truth, loss, faith, and the cost of family fame.